I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. It's always welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, my friend and yours, Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, boys. It's UFC Fight Week. We're back. It's been 3 weeks, but don't worry, guys. We're coming back. Angel, we're in the apex, buddy. We got Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Ribas. I know you're excited about the return of big Mackenzie Dern.
Why do you say big Mackenzie Dern?
Well, I mean, like...
He's like, cut it there.
We got some news to cover as well. Actually, we got a fair bit of news. I found some news. I was wrong in the pre-show. We got a few things to talk about. But, yeah, if you guys seen...
I'm reading some of this. Holy fuck, this is about to be a deep episode.
Yeah, the format's a little bit different this week, boys. Not in person. If you guys haven't seen, Kansas City got a foot of snow a few days ago. So I saw your boy having to drive home Saturday in the middle of freezing rain and all that shit. Not very fun, but we made it through. We made it through because I had to give you guys this episode. And yeah, Angel ripping the sponsor, which gets me into our sponsor segment. Rogue Energy and ELYXR. ELYXR are going to get you really high with their Delta 8 products. They've got vapes. They've got joints. They've got gels. They've got it all. For code SOUNDOFF, you can get 10% off at checkout. All caps when you spell the brand's name. Meanwhile, our friends over at Rogue Energy, they help me out at the gym. They can help you get to whatever destination you need to. Hey, man, you know what? If I couldn't drive home on Saturday, I was just going to pop out of Rogue Energy and just run home, bro. Just do a 4-mile run in the freezing rain and snow. They'd help me get there at code SOUNDOFF. Lastly, though, boys, it's fight week. It is fucking fight week. And that gets me into our friends over at BetMGM. MMA fans, if you follow that link down below, you can go down to BetMGM and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets paid back if you do not hit. Once again, BetMGM, follow the link down below. 1-800-GAMBLER if you're having any issues. But if not, if you want to have some fun with us and the boys, go ahead and follow that link down below. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and break into this card.
Well, what was that, Josh? What was that little snicker there?
I don't know. Nothing, man. Love you and your background, man. Just anyways.
MS Paint.
Yeah, dude.
This is what it's called, right? MS Paint?
Yeah, MS Paint. We got UFC Vegas, though, which this poster looks like it was made in MS Paint. UFC Fight Night, Mackenzie Dern. Amanda Ribas in the Apex. These two fought back in 2019. Ribas emerged with, I believe, an upset win by unanimous decision. They're running it back, over 5 years later, damn near. Mackenzie Dern, man, we've always talked about her. She's always on the verge of breaking through, it feels like, for years now. It feels like she'd get close to winning the big one. If she could win that one, she'd get a title shot. She's never been able to do it, but she's coming off a win over Lupi Godinez in August. Incredible win. We love Lupi here. Amanda Ribas, obviously 31 years old. Similar case, feels like she'll get right there, and then she can't get over the hump. 2-2 in her last 2-2 in her last 4. Excuse me. Coming off of a close decision loss to Rose Namajunas last March. Look, man. According to the current odds from our friends over at, and hey, follow the link down below if you want up to $1,500 of bonus bets paid back. According to the current line from our friends over at BetMGM, Amanda Ribas coming in here as a -200 favorite. Big Mac Dern coming back as a plus 165. That's an old callback from whenever she used to miss weight. That's what people used to call her back in the day. That's why I was going to say Big Mackenzie Dern. I'm going to say that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So anyways, man, main event. I mean, I like it. I like this card. I don't like this card as a whole, but I like this fight, man. Give me your thoughts on it.
I think as far as the fight, it's good. I think it's been long enough where it's acceptable to have like a follow up, Especially they're both at a pretty high level now at this point in their careers. Mackenzie, I mean, look, credit to her. Her last time out, she came in exceptional shape, looked shredded out of her mind, looked some of the best she ever did. She looked like she was kind of finally developing and entering into potentially what could be a full good MMA game with the ability that she has on the ground, So it's given us some hope for the people who always be like, if it's going to be someone, it's going to be Mackenzie Dern. It's going to be Mackenzie Dern in this division that's going to break through and potentially do some things. I mean, looking at the state of that division currently, there's not that many options. Like, Mackenzie Dern might be in a position soon where she might get the fucking call up, and she might have to show up and see if she can get this shit done finally and get that fucking belt. Amanda Ribas, it's weird. You know, you mentioned they kind of seem kind of similar. I think people overlook Ribas. I think a lot of even her the people she's even faced could even overlook her because look, she's kind of now floated between two weight classes. But look, she's a scrappy fucking dog, man. Like, respectfully,
yeah,
she's scrappy as fuck, and I gotta give credit to that to her because not all girls are willing to get hurt as much as she is, and willing to go for it as much as she is, despite even having like some of the physical disadvantages that she brings to a fight. I think it's a great matchup. I mean, it should be. Look, female MMA gets a lot of shit, but I gotta give them credit. Like, as far as the entertainment value that these ladies can present, it can be very high quality, and I imagine it will be. I actually have high expectations for them, and I'm gonna carry those high expectations following into next week, especially since we're getting into a pay-per-view this early on into the 2025 campaign. Look, if they gave us these ladies to start off the year, it's for a reason. They must see some sort of future or interest here. They're trying to get her in one of these gals, I'm assuming mainly Mackenzie because she has a win already, in the position to fight for that title in this 2025 campaign, because we know Whaley's about to fight Tatiana. Well, I guess I'm kind of looking ahead there. I'm kind of looking past Tatiana, but you know what I'm saying. They're trying to set up a potential matchup down the line. No, I mean, I'm excited. I love it. I guess I've said a lot there, so I kind of want to give my pick 'em now. I kind of went on a rant there. I gotta go Dern, man. She's giving me a lot of hope. I think her hands are coming together. I think physically she can maybe overpower Ribas at times if she comes in that shape that she presented last time out. And it would have been Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I have a lot of hope there. But Ribas, massive upset potential. I don't think you should completely write her off. To me, this is actually very much a coin flip fight. Mainly because Ribas is a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already beat her, so.
Yeah, exactly. And if you go back to their fight, now granted, at that point, that was Mackenzie Dern's first career loss. She was very early on in her career. But if you rewatch that fight, it was basically just Amanda Ribas controlling the fight in basically all elements. On the feet, Mackenzie Dern, her hands weren't there yet. She had the power, but she couldn't really land much. On the mat, Amanda Ribas just easily being able to kind of maneuver and get away from Mackenzie Dern's strengths and being able to survive on the mat. Admittedly, I'm really torn on this one, man. Like, it's kind of a coin flip for me too. You know, it's a good fight, but I don't know, man. Kicking off 2025, fucking give me Mackenzie Dern, man. Give me some Dern.
I should have put on my onesie, dude. I see my onesie over there. I'm almost tempted to throw it on live.
Throw on the onesie, dude. What do you mean?
You want me to throw on the onesie?
I'll break down the fight. You go do that.
I mean, I can still hear you, so go for it.
Yeah. So I think that Mackenzie Dern, I think she's grown in a lot of aspects. I think if she comes in on her A game, she can beat almost anybody in this division. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. On the mat, she can compete with the best of them. And on the feet, she leaves herself very wide open, which leads to her taking some huge shots like the Giscon Josh fight. But even then, she gives it just as good as she gets it, man. She has a great right hand, great overhand right, decent power for the division. I'm going to take Mackenzie Dern. I could easily get Amanda Ribas pulling this off here, but I feel like Mackenzie Dern now, we've seen multiple fights where just like so close to breaking through. Maybe just one more win to get a title shot. One more win to get a title shot. And here we are once again, and I think that if she wins here, she might get a title shot. Maybe not next, but I think her next, I think Valentina Jarova will end up fighting for the title at some point, but I think Mackenzie Dern easily right there in line. I think she'll get there with this win. Amanda Ribas, less clear if she'll get a title shot, but probably not. But Mackenzie Dern, they want to push her, and for good reason, you know?
What's your outlook on if Ribas does end up winning? Like, it's kind of it's unexpected, you know what I mean?
Yeah, very unexpected. I mean, look, I think Amanda Ribas is actually probably the smart pick. She beat her in the first fight, and I don't think their skill sets have changed. Like, I think both women have grown, but I don't think their skill sets have changed that much to where, like, Amanda Ribas will go from easily dominating to losing. I think she's the safe pick here, but I just think Mackenzie Dern, she has grown a lot. I think if she comes in her A game, she could beat almost everybody in the division. I think she's aware of the stakes of this. Amanda Ribas, less clear. I think she wins this one. She need to fight Yan Xiaonan maybe next or something, you know, like another number one contender fight. I think the winner of this fight should fight Valentina Jarova. I think it's the next clear fight regardless, but I think if Mackenzie Dern wins, she then may just push her straight to a title shot, you know?
Yeah. I think as far as like actually how they would win the fight, do you think it'd be for Ribas? Do you think it'd be like going in, landing some hard shots, getting out, avoiding Mackenzie's kind of like shots coming in, avoid them as much grappling as she can? Or do you think it could be more like she does a lot of counter wrestling against the cage?
I'm thinking it'd be probably similar to the first fight where it's a lot of get in, get out striking. Because on the feet, Mandy Ribas is much quicker and also just a better overall striker. Mackenzie Dern is there to be hit. You know, like she'll land some big shots for the most part, like that big overhand right, like I mentioned. But I think she's there to be hit, and then that's what happened in that first fight. Just controlling
she's the better athlete too, right? Like no disrespect to Amanda Ribas, but I would imagine so, right?
She appears to be. She seems to be more explosive.
That's what I'm saying. Explosive. She's like her athleticism seems pretty. At least to me, I think she's the more athletic one.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we're in agreement here, man. I think Mackenzie Dern wins, and I think if she wins, they may push her to a title shot. Amanda Ribas wins, they're going to have her fight Verna Jandiroba because they don't want either one of those women to fight for a title. Amanda Ribas less so, but you know what I mean.
I gotta give credit to us because I didn't expect us to be as into that fight. I didn't know how into it you were going to be, and I didn't know how into it I was going to be into it until now.
Yeah. No, I like the fight. I mean, here's the thing: is like I don't think this card. I like the main card. I think the prelims have a lot. That's like, but like I think the main card has.
But there's some new faces in there, and we'll get to them that are young that have some interesting potential, and then there's some known commodities there.
Exactly. Speaking of known commodities, we'll break into this co-main event. Santiago Ponzinibbio, at this point, man, I mean, 38 years old for the Gravedigger out of Argentina. 4 losses in his last 5, coming off a split decision loss to Muslim Salikov last July, taking on Carlston Harris. Now, this kid, I say kid, he's a 37-year-old man. But this 37-year-old man hits very hard, good, decent on the mat, very well-rounded guy. Looks like, I don't want to say he can break through, but I think there's still some potential there for Carlston Harris to maybe make a run at the top 15. What do you think, man?
I think he could be a tweener. I mean, I think I think he got slowed down with the obviously this most recent result and the Shockbot fight. But hey, man, I mean, look at the business Shockbot's in, right? You can't feel that bad about that one. And yeah, and look, I gotta give him credit for a little bit there. I didn't know who Ponzi should fight. Like, I was kind of like what matchups make sense at this point for Ponzinibbio? Because I mean, let's face it, he missed his prime. He missed a good era of his fight career, not by choice. Mm-hmm. And when he came back, things didn't necessarily go the way he wanted to. You know, he's had some pretty cool moments, but nothing to say, okay, this is the Ponzinibbio that's going to get into potentially a title shot scenario. You know, sadly. And I kind of wonder, like, how much more is he going to fight? You know, should he? I mean, I'm not going to say should he be fighting anymore, but I kind of wonder, like, does he have to fight anymore? You know, like, do you need to Ponzinibbio? Like, I think you proved yourself, man. You are probably the most successful and for a long time the best Argentinian fighter of all time. It probably won't come close for a while, I imagine. You know,
I don't know, man. Ali Perez is on the rise. I mean, you never know.
I mean, you're not joking around. I mean, she's at least the best female Argentinian fighter to come out of there. We could say that.
That's worth something. Yeah,
that's worth something. You know. And like I say, and a lot of people are like, why are you mentioning where he's from or region? I'm like, you got to think about how big MMA is, man. Some of these regions don't have a massive representation for a fight. So for a guy for a guy like him to come out of Argentina and do what he has is amazing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I don't think Ponzinibbio's at a place where like we should be calling for his retirement, but I do think this is a fight that makes a lot of sense for him at 37 versus 38. Carlston Harris has obviously been more on the rise. Ponzinibbio's kind of sliding. But when you look at the competition, Ponzi's only lost to several big names. I mean, I just said that he lost to Salikov last time out. He fought Kevin Holland before that. He fought, let me pull up the record. I mean, I believe who was in there? Alex Morono maybe in there? Yeah, Alex Morono, Michelle Pajea, Jeff Neal, Miguel Baeza, Li Jing Liang, Neil Magny. Those are all of his fights for the last since 2021. So, several great names in there, several high-profile guys. I'm not going to beat around the bush here with my pick. I don't think it's going to be a surprise. Carlston Harris is going to win this fight. I think he's going to win this fight going away. I think Ponzinibbio has skill. I still think he's still, for his age, and given all that he's gone through, he still can compete with these guys. I just think Carlston Harris is going to come out with a win, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't.
Wow. I did not
I mean, according to the current line, let me add this. Ponzi a minus 135. Carlston Harris at plus 110. So, I'm on the opposite end of this. It'd be an upset win for Carlston Harris, but I just believe in the guy that much. I think if recent fights tell the tale, and Ponzinibbio has looked He has some fights where he doesn't look this way, but he's looked very washed since coming back in 2021.
He's looked old in there. We'll say.
He's looked very, very old. Carlston Harris, only 1 year younger, but does not look like a 37-year-old.
I think Bonzi is also like significantly slower now than what he was before. Don't obviously still fast for the average person, right? But as far as the kind of competition you're getting in the UFC, dude, I mean, he is slow now. His movements aren't as quick, but I still think he's got it in him, Josh. I'm gonna go Ponzinibbio. I think he still has got some crack in there. He's a tough guy, dude. He's reached a high level. He knows how to fight. He knows what he needs to do. Carlston Harris, slick guy on the map, man. He could definitely sub him, catch him in something. But I think in the stand-up, the troubles are going to come in. Bon's going to land some big shots. They're not going to come in super fast, but they're going to pile on. They're going to add up. And I know that if this fight does go to the mat, I know Ponzinibbio is not going to make it an easy night for Carlston Harris. But he could slip up, make a mistake. Yeah. You never know. But I'm going with the Argentine dagger.
I'm happy that we're splitting the pick, though.
That's fun. That's fun.
I like the main and the co-main. I genuinely like the main and the co-main. And the main card as a whole is not bad. It falls off a cliff, I think, after the main card, but like I said, there are some young names. We'll go ahead and I think we should move one down. Cesar Almeida, Abdullah Hazak Al-Hassan. Neither one of these guys are going to win a title. They may never be ranked, but this should be a very fun fight.
You remember who Cesar Almeida is, right?
Huh?
You remember Cesar Almeida from his last fight?
Yeah, he beat, undercard man, Ilahor Patera, who's somehow still in the UFC. But yes, I do remember his last fight.
Dude, all the fouls?
It was like two dick kicks, 2 eye pokes.
It was insane.
One more.
It was insane. Yeah. It'd be really funny if this happened again. And to be honest,
I don't think Abdullah Azak Al-Hassan will let that happen.
I don't think he will let it happen. But he's had like some of the oddest results in some fights recently. It just seems like something that would happen to him, not by choice.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I like this fight though. I think it should be fun. I think it'll be a weird fight. I mean, I'm just judging on Cesar Almeida's his fight and then his last fight, and then Abdullah Al-Hassan has just had an incredibly weird UFC stint in general. We're not even gonna get even excluding the legal stuff, but what are you gonna do? I like this fight a lot though. Chris Curtis, Roman Kopylov.
This feels so out of place right here. You know what I mean? It almost feels like it should be higher.
It feels like this could be a Apex main event, honestly.
Yes.
I mean, Chris Curtis is coming off an Apex main event where I thought he beat Brendan Allen. Honestly, that was a split decision loss. I thought he won that one. Roman Kopylov has won 5 of his last 6. It's a good fight, man. It's a really good fight. Striker's, delight on that main card. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Also on the card, the return of Christian Rodriguez on the main card against Austin Boshi. I still a believer in Christian Rodriguez. I think he's still got some talent.
Austin Boshi, young good kid too.
Yeah. Opening up the card, Punalele Serrano taking on Euros Medic.
Good fight. Matchup.
I like that. And then you move down to the prelims. You got flyweights. Jose Johnson coming back here against Felipe Bunes. I like that. I love the flyweights. Jose Johnson. Who did he fight? I feel like he fought somebody last year that I'm thinking of.
Chad on hell.
He fought Asu Amabalaya. That's what he fought. Yeah, that absolute dog. Yeah, so happy to see him back here. He's had a few nice UFC wins. He looked down the card. Thiago Moises, the most underrated guy in UFC. It's my son, 29 years old, Thiago Moises. He feels like he's been around for a lifetime, hasn't he?
I mean, he has 13 fights in the UFC, man. He's about to be 14 after this one.
Signed in 2018. So, 7 years in the UFC. Taking on Trey Ogden on the undercard.
By the way, once again, this one feels oddly low. I mean, Thiago Moises morally ranked, faced Islam Makhachev. He's fought Beneil Dariush.
It's strange. It's strange. I'll put it like that. And then as far as the rest of the undercard, Joe Selecki opening up the card against Nurilo Avalev. I apologize. I'm bad at pronouncing a lot of these, Russian fucking names. I'm a guy who may not be Russian, but you get the point I'm making here. Fatima Klein, former Invicta veteran, who I believe I covered one of her first fights, but I don't remember for sure.
Really? Because she's only a year older than us.
Yeah, I feel like I did. Maybe like an amateur fight, maybe?
I would say I saw she fought in Invicta in May of 2021, which is insane.
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, good for her. She's going to come back here and fight on the prelims. It's, like I said, prelims leave a lit. Oh, Preston Parsons coming back against Jacoby Smith. I like me some Preston Parsons, but as far as the card itself, I mean, I'm excited. I'll watch it, but it's not anything overwhelming, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's always so fun, man? I just looked down here at the. I was looking at the references page on the Wikipedia page for this UFC Apex event. Dude, you look, number 4 citation, Josh Evanoff from 2019, whenever I wrote up that first fight between Ribas and Mackenzie Dern. So, hey.
Hey.
You know? So, that's fun. Yeah, any closing thoughts on this UFC? What fucking Apex is? Apex 101. Any thoughts on final, on Apex 101?
Jesus, man. I mean, look. The events have gone down in the Apex. Hopefully that continues to happen. Some of the cards they've shown for that they're taking out of the Apex look pretty insane. I don't know if you saw. I don't know where they're going, but it's pretty fucking stacked, man. So I'm excited. This is just a little bit to ease us back into the year because we're getting a fucking 13-course meal next week. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
everything will be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I hope this card's good, man. I'm not exactly. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch them. I'm happy that we have fights back. The 3-week break felt like a lifetime.
By the way, how do you feel that we're having this pay-per-view come up, and then we're gonna have a little bit of time off, and then we come back instantly into Adesanya Imavov, and then the week later is another pay-per-view, Strickland Duplessis.
Kind of a weird pace start to the year.
Dude, that's an insane start.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's just kind of weird, you know.
Do you just wish those were a little bit more spread out from each other?
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a weird start to the year. I mean, they skipped, you know, the first 2 weeks of the year. Now they're gonna have these cards and then they're gonna take off another week. It's kind of weird. I don't know. But I don't know. Excited for them to be back, and we'll see what happens. But I think we should go ahead and move on to news. Admittedly, there's more stuff to talk about than I initially thought. Whenever we hopped on the call, I was like, dude, there's like nothing to talk about. But there's a little bit more to actually discuss. We'll go ahead and kick it off with this one. This is one that actually you brought to my attention. Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, has not been seen since he got knocked out by Shelly Zhang in, I believe, June. Prior to that, he lost to Joseph Parker and had that multi-million-dollar payday against Anthony Joshua vanish. And then sadly, our boy Francis Ngannou stepped up to fight Anthony Joshua. We don't need to get into that fight. But, you know, point being, Deontay Wilder still not retired. A rumor spread this past week that he was retired from a fake Michael Benson account on Twitter. He is not retired. But instead, he's actually coming back for a fight in April.
Wait, didn't they get a Stephen A. Smith with that shit?
They did get Stephen A. Smith. They got Stephen. Dude, this Michael Benson account is just running wild on boxing Twitter, bro. The amount of people that I've seen, dude, I think it was Marca. They're like a Spanish boxing site, I believe. They reported that Deontay Wilder was retired because of Michael Benson. Not Michael Benson, the fake Michael Benson. Michael Benson sold his account to the Ring, so he works for them now. Good for him. Point being, though, Deontay Wilder allegedly in talks to face Stephen Shaw, 20-2 heavyweight, out of Missouri. Hasn't fought. The only relevant guy he's fought was Efe Ajagba last year, and apparently got dominated, lost by decision. He's coming off 2 losses in a row. If Deontay Wilder's going to come back, is this the right fight for him? You know, at 39 years old now.
Probably just to get him back into the mix. Probably like some complete unknown guy. I mean, I don't know what else you could have, like, what other intelligent direction they could have gone. I mean, this is a guy that went up a level and fell pretty short, and Efe Ajagba himself, he's had his own struggles, you know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was smart, you know. Guy he's facing is inexperienced, hasn't fought that great in a competition, and when he did, he saw the results. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a guy for Deontay Wilder to fight, I've been pretty upfront about this, and I know that you have been as well. I don't want to see him really fight. I mean, I'd watch him fight Anthony Joshua. I'd watch him fight some Can, and, you know, I don't think this guy's a Can, but he's definitely a journeyman type, and I'll watch it if it happens. But I'll be honest with you, Francis Ngannou were bust for me at this point with Deontay Wilder. At this point, where he's at with the skill set, I mean, he lost every round to Zhang, and I think he won 2 against Parker. He's won like 2 of his last 18 rounds in the ring. And Deontay was never really a guy that won a lot of rounds like that, but he's not throwing the right hand either. He's not throwing that equalizer. For me, I'll watch this fight, but like I said, I want to see him fight Francis Ngannou. That's the only major fight I want to see for him at this point in time. The 2 hardest hitters in combat sports, it writes itself. But if he's not going to do that and he's going to fight, by the way, Angel, I don't even know if you heard this part about this. Do you know what service they're fighting for? What promoter?
Is it one that I would know?
They've held like 2 events. They were making waves like a year or 2 ago.
Oh man. Fuck, I don't know, dude. TikTok. I'll just say it as a joke.
Triller's back. No, it's not Triller. No, I'm kidding. It's Black Prime. Do you remember Black Prime?
What the fuck is?
They promoted Terrence Crawford against. Oh my God, was it? I don't even remember the guy's fucking name. He had a 1-fight deal with him. Adrian Broner had a 1-fight deal with him.
Oh, the one with oh my God, Blair the Flair.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now.
That's who's promoting this Deontay Wilder versus Stephen Shaw fight.
What the fuck? I
know. Don't worry, though, because I'm sure there's another boxing match that's actually been announced that I'm sure they're going to be working with, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But, yeah, dude, this is fine, I guess. If Deontay was going to keep on fighting, I'd rather him fight a guy like this than a guy like, I don't know, AJ or a guy that's actually going to fucking hurt him. But, like I said, Ngannou would bust for me personally, but I guess I'll watch this. The Global Fight League, we're going to move one down. This organization, we'll put the over-under. I think I'm going to set the over-under at 5 events. I'll say that up front. So the GFL has apparently, they've announced a boatload of signings. This is basically the Grandpa Fight League. We've gone down, a lot of them already. Frank Mir, Vanderlei Silva, Tyron Woodley, Luke Rockhold, oh man, who else? I feel like there's someone missing in there. Kevin Lee.
They actually resurrected Edwin Valero.
They resurrected Edwin Valero for this. They're bringing back Hermes Franca, folks. He's a great guy.
They broke out Phil Baroni from the Mexican prison he's in right now.
Phil Baroni, they said he has a lot of skill left. He says he's actually on the rise, Phil Baroni. No, yeah, just young prospects coming to the GFL, such as Bigfoot Silva. That's all.
Man, they lost. Man.
Yeah,
we thought the standards were low, but Bigfoot Silva, bro.
No, I don't know if he's actually signed, but he probably will be eventually.
Hey, God, I hope not. Hey, he went the distance against Juan Espina.
That's true, he did. That's better than Fabricio Verdum, who's going to be fighting the GFL. Vanderlei Silva said he has CTE. Why can't we sign Bigfoot Silva, man? What's going on there? I'm like the only guy left that wants to. Why isn't Bigfoot Silva getting booked, man? What the fuck?
I'm fucking just running his Twitter account.
Wait, what the hell? The Bigfoot Stan account? Anyways.
You make a forum, dude. What the fuck? Could you imagine? Like, you literally build a forum from the ground up.
There's one Brazilian guy out there who's like, dude, like, yeah, these guys are talking some real shit right now. Bigfoot back, like,
they're like, dude, he fucking gets it, dude. Like, what's some random Bigfoot fight you think someone would enjoy outside of obviously Bigfoot versus Marcotte? Like some real
random Bigfoot fight?
Yeah, like some real deep cut shit. You're like, yeah, dude, that Bigfoot fight, that was the shit.
This isn't a deep cut, but I have always thought his fight with Overeem was better than his fight with Marcotte. Because I think it's probably because like Overeem was like talking hella shit going into that,
and also
this is like Overeem. This is Overeem, and he was talking mad shit. And Bigfoot, just like I remember, like he knocked him out and he just screamed in his face, and I'm like, God, like that's so fucking scary. It's so scary. He also knocked out who did he knock out? Soa Palei back in like it was his last UFC win. I remember thinking like, oh damn, dude, Bigfoot's back. Like it's just. And then he lost like his next 7 fights in the UFC. I'm like,
and then more after that,
Yeah, Bigfoot was not back. Actually, I gotta say, his fight with Gabriel Gonzaga, in BKFC. Anyways, okay, we'll move on. The GFL, the original subject, the GFL. They announced a boatload of signings this week. Mostly women. Julia Budd in there, former Bellator champion. Tanya Evinger in there, former Invicta champion. The biggest signing of which to the GFL, the Grandpa Fight League, also known as the Global Fight League, is Paige 12-Gauge VanZant.
Back.
Yeah, Power Slap's finest, Paige VanZant.
Dude, I wonder why though. Like, why is she doing this? You know, I thought she was making plenty of money from her outside combat sports ventures. You know, that the blue app, the blue app. Isn't that what people call it?
The blue app? I just call it OnlyFans. Only pipes for myself. Only pipes for myself because I'm starting the channel. So
God damn it, Josh.
Just kidding. Anyways, no, I think we're allowed to say OnlyFans. Is OnlyFans like a blacklisted term?
I don't know. I heard it sometimes it fucks with the algorithm.
Oh, well.
Thank you, Josh.
We're already fucked in the algorithm, man. It doesn't really matter.
No, we're not.
No, I'm just doing it a bit. But
anyway, if you want to be fucking banned from the algorithm, let me go Kanye mode real quick, dude.
Dude, please don't.
Right now, live on air while we're on Skype, dude. Just you wait. He's like, fuck, I need to figure out what I need to do.
Ruining my life, dude. Anyway, so Paige VanZant.
Don't you like that though?
Back. Huh?
Don't you like that?
I off air, I like the crazy moments, but I got a job here to do. I gotta keep my employment, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens. So anyways, Paige VanZant signed. I'll ask you just straight up front. I'm sure you've seen all the signings that have happened. Give me your thoughts on this recent crop of signings headlined by Paige VanZant. Give me your thoughts on her returning as well.
I mean, I'm surprised. Like I told you, like why is she back? I'm like curious why, because it's not like she's ever had to like prove herself anymore. You know, she did what she did. She had some decent moments in her short little lived MMA career, but I kind of wonder like what's her motivation still? What kind of aspirations does she have? Why not just fight in the UFC? Like I wonder if there was any possibility of Dana being able to bring her back into the mix. I'm surprised that he didn't even consider the possibility of bringing Paige back for a potential fight just in the UFC opposed to her going to a different league. So, I don't know. It's just odd that she went this direction with the GFL instead of maybe trying to push for that UFC signing, you know?
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I thought whenever she did have that power slap thing, I thought that was kind of gonna lead into a UFC return. Like, people forget, she left the UFC on bad terms back in 2020. Like, they didn't even have very many talks. Like, I think she lost her last fight to Ribas. And they were like, yo, like, just get the fuck out. And she was like, all right, I'm going to go to Bellator because that's where my husband is, my hubby, Austin Vanderford. BKFC offered more money than them, and that's essentially what happened. And then since then, she's basically done nothing but lose. You know, she lost twice in the BKFC, lost once in boxing, and then, like, she didn't lose that, but she basically lost, right?
I will say on a side note, I do think she did, or that the GFL did very well in getting a bunch of gals that I didn't know. Like, they just signed some talent that they thought was going to be good, I guess. Because, I mean, you saw it, right? Like, they just literally signed gals in multiple weight classes. They got even credit. Like,
yeah, I mean, everywhere from, like, women's featherweight all the way down to atomweight, I believe.
That's what I was saying. Like, the fact that they put that effort in, especially for atomweight, dude, man, that made me so happy. But the fact that he even got as many featherweights as they did, I was kind of like, man, kind of wonder, man, what if the UFC just signed gals and kind of let the division develop within itself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I look, man, I like a lot of their signings. I hate most of their signings, I'll say that. But I think if you're going to start a league like this, I don't know where the fuck the money's coming from. I think the money's coming from, like, a Middle East investor. That's my guess. Cain Velasquez was one of the GFL signings. Cain's not going to be fighting, but Cain's going to be coaching Team Dubai. They're going to have 6 teams based across different continents, and the only one that we know right now is Team Dubai, which leads me to believe somebody in Dubai has a lot of money, and they're like, fuck it, dude, we're just going to start this league. I mean, that's where the PFL got $100 million from the Saudis. It's not exactly a secret that MMA and boxing is going to have a lot of this, like, Middle Eastern, like, foreign investments going on into it. That's my guess. And if that's the case, then, like, they will actually just blow a shitload of money. Like, they'll actually... The rumor was, not a rumor, this is actually a confirmed report from my buddy Alex Bahunin over at MMA Mania, I believe. $1.4 million going to be paid to an unknown heavyweight for the GFL. And if that's the case, and if they don't have some insane foreign investor, this league's going to last 3 events.
Who could have made that kind of money?
Dude, if we pull up their roster, I don't even know, because, like, none of their heavyweights, like, scream big draw to me, right?
I mean, how do I get to the GFL Global Fight League?
I just looked up their website. I don't think their website has all of their roster, but I think it has most of them.
No, but at least for heavyweights, like
heavyweights. Okay, Alan Belcher, Alexei Oleinik, Andrei Arlovsky, Fabricio Verdum, Frank Mir, Greg Hardy.
Do you think it was JDS?
It could be JDS, maybe. But he wasn't getting $1 million to fight for Jorge Masvidal. So, Robel Suspenier.
But it can't, like, when you're looking at it, who else could be getting this kind of money unless it's Arlovsky or Frank Mir, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, I don't think they'd give that kind of money to Verdum. Maybe they did, but I don't know. Maybe it's a heavyweight we don't know about yet.
I don't know. Maybe. It's possible there's one they haven't announced. But, yeah, man, this is, interesting signings, I'll say that. Apparently Tony Ferguson is the rumored next big signing. I'll say that as well.
Terrifying.
Yeah. One of the guys that's that's going to work as like a main advisor for the GFL is the former president of the XFL, Jeffrey Pollock. So that's just a great sign for the future, you know. The XFL going on their 4th iteration. So that's all I got. This thing sucks. We'll see what it is.
Are you excited to do our own draft?
I'm actually genuinely excited to see what teams we can make whenever they have this. The draft is in, I believe, April.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, really?
I feel like it is.
I thought it was happening this month.
Oh, wait, excuse me. Inaugural draft, January 24th. January 24th, so 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see who gets drafted first. Who's going to be the first number 1 overall pick in the GFL draft?
Fucking Vanderlei Silva. It's 2004, my dude.
Give me your, like, top 3 guys to go first.
Dude, here's the issue. Like, they're all old and washed, and most of these guys haven't fought, so I have no idea who's good and who's not. Kevin Lee would probably be mine overall. I'm going to get sports. Kevin Lee probably been one pick.
By the way, this is actually a better one. Do you still have the website pulled up?
Yeah.
We'll go weight class by weight class. We'll go who's most likely to be number 1. We'll both give an answer. So let's start at heavyweight.
We're going to start at heavyweight?
Yeah.
Okay.
First heavyweight
Tanner
to get drafted. As the first heavyweight to get drafted?
Yes. Look at that list, and you're telling me that Tanner Boser is not the number 1 guy.
I think guys might go the older right and maybe go JDS.
Or they'll go
Arlovsky.
I could see Arlovsky.
Yeah. As first picks. I kind of want, it's crazy because I want to start talking about the weight classes, but I'm going to avoid that because it's going to get way too long of a conversation. I was going to say, but I will say this one short thing. Alan Belcher, sleeper pick at heavyweight.
I like that. I like Alan Belcher.
Okay. So
light heavy. I'm going to guess Gus.
I would assume Gus, but OSP's right there, man. Or Rafael Carvalho. I'd say it's probably the top 3 options.
I agree. Middleweight, I'm thinking
Gegard.
Luke Rockhold or Gegard.
I mean, that matchup, if it happens, I mean,
yeah.
If it's Vanderlei, holy fuck, you guys have no love.
Dude, yeah, what are you guys? If anybody drafts Vanderlei, I'm fighting you motherfuckers. That's it. Leave his ass at home, please.
You know, sleeper pick, Hector Lombard in here too.
I like that. I could see Hector Lombard.
All right,
welterweight.
Much less known, but just on name value, Trinaldo or Henderson?
Trinaldo, Henderson, Woodley, or Akubar or Nurmagomedov.
Ooh, you're right. Fuck. There's a lot of great choices in welter, actually. Too many.
Yeah. Lightweight?
I'm assuming those last 3, though, for sure.
Yeah. Lightweight, it should be Kevin Lee. Right?
Yeah. I'm assuming Lee or Pettis.
For me, it has to be Kevin Lee, because it's like, dude, like, yeah, he's definitely a bit washed, but, like, he was still fighting guys like Renat Factoratino a year ago.
Oddly enough, though, lightweight has some pretty fun matchups, though. You got Sidney the Outlaw in there, Will Brooks, John Medici, Cristiano Gallegos, Jeremy Stevens. Like, this is a solid 155 little class they got going. Yeah,
my issue is honestly the fact that let's like at heavyweight and shit, they have guys like Vandy in there. I'll be on that. I don't hate a lot of these signings.
Dude, is Benson gonna fight Pettis again? Like,
oh man, a 4th time?
Right?
Featherweight, dude, this is
much less known, but I would assume
Lance Palmer?
More than Moraes or Lance Palmer by a landslide.
Yeah. And then
I would assume
bantamweight Jimmy Rivera, I'm guessing.
From what we have here, yes.
Now we're gonna go to women's featherweight.
Granted, though, don't be surprised, dude. Henan Barrow?
Wow.
I could see it.
I could see that too. Women's featherweight, Julia Budd or Bust is my guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, she's going to be the most experienced gal out of anybody they try to get.
Women's bantamweight's more interesting, but I'd probably pick Deanna Gadzad.
Probably. I mean, they got some gals in here with some undefeated records that I don't know. But I would imagine she would maybe do a very good job. But hey, I'm sure there's going to be some I'm sure women's going to have the most upset potential.
I got you. Flyweight. Paige, probably.
Paige is probably going to be the one.
Yeah. Biggest star and, all that stuff. Man, women's flyweight's rough. God damn.
Oh, no, Paige is a flyweight. That's what they got here. We're talking about strawweight.
I'm talking about strawweight. My bad.
I mean,
strawweight's rough.
I mean, it's weird. I mean, you could go Bean Nguyen just because she's kind of known. But, like, actually.
Killer B,
But, I mean, actually.
Hannah Goldie.
Viviana Pajea down here, 16-4.
Yeah.
This Russian gal looks tough as fuck, though. You see that? Natalia Kuznetsova?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. This one's going to be one of the more interesting ones. And then
Adam Weight, they only got 2 people, so it has to be Jessica Aguilar.
And I'm sure they're going to get more, so.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that was fun. We'll do the actual draft whenever they have, presumably, their whole roster, because there's a lot of people they left out.
Are we do like a coin flip that day to see who drafts first?
I think that's fun. I like that.
I wonder, how big is a roster? Do you know by chance?
I mean, I think there's like 250 people, so they're excluding a lot of names.
That's what I'm saying. So how many people do you have to pick on your roster? Is it one heavyweight? Is it one per weight class?
Maybe. I don't know. They really haven't actually, given a lot of details on that sort of shit. But I don't know, man. I think we should go ahead and move on. We have a few other things. Speaking of old guys, Angel, speaking of some old men, how about this fight here? Now, they've been talking about this for a long time, but it officially got announced earlier this week. Rampage Jackson. Quentin Rampage Jackson, former UFC champion, set to take on former UFC champion Rashad Evans in a rematch in a boxing match later this year in New Mexico in Albuquerque. A lot of details currently unknown. It's likely going to be a heavyweight fight, one would presume. They fought back in 2010 in one of the biggest UFC pay-per-views of all time. It was the first, I believe, first non-title fight to break 1 million buys on pay-per-view. This was right whenever Rampage was coming straight off the A-team. He was a huge star. The fight itself was kind of meh. But hey, man, 15 years later, running it back. What do you make about this one, my man?
I'm excited, man. I've been hoping for Rampage to get another fight because I know he's obviously unsatisfied about the Fedor fight. He's talked about it on several podcasts, how he was unhappy with how everything kind of with that fight went. And, obviously he had some health problems that also he felt affected his fight severely. I mean, physically you see how he came into the fight. Definitely not the best version of Rampage that we've seen. And also when he talks about fighting and he's been talking about the past and he's still talking about competing now, I genuinely believe that he's going to have some crazy level of preparation and have honestly a pretty fucking awesome performance. I know it's boxing, it's not going to be MMA, but I think that we're going to have some vintage Rampage in there for sure. I'm not sure what Rashad's going to bring. Rashad competed not too long ago in that Eagle FC promotion, if you guys remember. I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot better. I hope it's a lot better than what I expect. And he was also preparing for years there because he was trying to fight Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go.
I will you eat, champ. I will you eat.
I mean, yeah. So he's been hungering for one for a while now. And, Rampage likes to get paid. So I'm sure he was trying to get a good deal, too.
Exactly. And, dude, he is, I'd hope he's getting paid quite a bit from this. I'm not sure how much money they're going to draw on, but Angel, you down to travel to Albuquerque for,
Only if, man. Only if. I'd love to be there.
Yeah, never been. But,
I'll be there in spirit, man.
Yeah, we'll be there in spirit. We love Rampage on the show. We love Rashad, too, man. I mean, Rashad never really got, down the stretch of his career, he didn't really get the love that he kind of deserved, I thought. But, hey, man, I'm happy these guys are going to get the opportunity to go out there and make some money and hopefully put on a fight, man. I mean, I thought their first fight back in the day, I didn't see that fight live. I came into that fight afterwards, but I watched that one probably like a year or two after I started getting into the sport. Everybody said it sucked, and I'm like, it's not bad. It's just not what people wanted it to be. It's very wrestling heavy for the first round or two, and then Rampage rocks and really finishes them in third. Third round was a lot of fun, but then there's also before 5-round main events, so it was kind of like, oh, damn, left a lot to kind of be desired. So hopefully they can, put an end to that chapter for both of them, and hopefully they will get paid and put on a good performance. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna shit on this. A lot of people shit on this fight, honestly, when it came out, but I like seeing old guys get out there and fighting old guys and then get paid. You know, as long as it's not like. If you're not like Vanderlei Silva saying you have CTE, like I'll probably let you fight. You know what I mean? As if it's like an old guy fight, you know, like I'm kind of down with that. But if it's like if it's like the GFL where it's like Vandy may get matched up with some fucking 27-year-old kid, it's like fuck, dude, what are we doing? You know? So like fuck, dude.
Josh is like, what the fuck have we done?
Like, why is Vandy fighting Ribas Suspenia? You know, like what are we doing? Okay, three things to talk about before we go and head out of here. UFC Seattle has been announced February, I believe, 26th, going down from Seattle. This card's been rumored for a minute now. Michael Chiesa kind of let the bag slip last year where he's like, yeah, I'm going to be fighting UFC Seattle, my hometown. Can't wait for it. He wanted to main event this one. Not going to be the main event, not going to be the co-main event. Going to be on the card, though, and the main event. Henry Triple C Cejudo coming back for the first time in a year to take on Song Yadong, the Kung Fu Kid. Henry Cejudo riding a 2-fight losing streak to Aljo and Murad Dvalishvili. Song Yadong last lost to Piotr Yan in March. So that was a banger of a fight. You know, put forth a spirited effort there. Prior to that, he came in hot. I like this fight. Co-main event, Dominic Cruz, the Dominator. He said he has 2 fights left in him, and one of them going to be coming against Rob Font. I like these fights. Admittedly, I would have preferred if they reshuffled them. I'm not sure how you feel about this. I'd much rather have Cejudo, Cruz 2, and Yadong Font. But hey, I still like these fights. Give me your thoughts on these UC Seattle fight announcements.
I mean, I'll say it time and time again. WEC, never die. They should have done Jose Aldo versus Dom Cruz when they had the fucking chance. They could have brought back the blue mat. It could have been a whole fucking thing. They could have even made like some fun little joke, like some fun little thing out of it and brought out maybe the WEC belt for fun, you know, reminisce on the glory days. But once again, they fucking miss. Rob Font, Dom Cruz, I think will be a good fight. It will satisfy my needs. But Jose Aldo versus Dom Cruz could have been euphoric.
That's where I'm at with this. I feel like the UFC, there are some booking decisions where it's like this is fine. You know, like this is okay. I like both these fights individually. But, like, you're telling me you couldn't give me Dom Cruz against Jose Aldo instead of Jose Aldo against, like, fucking Jonathan Martinez and Mario Bautista? Like, who the fuck wanted to see that? You could have done Jose Aldo against either one of these guys, Cejudo or Dominic Cruz, and they would have been better than both of those fights, you know? Look, I like Cejudo Yadong a lot. Dom Cruz, Rob Font, I like a lot less because it's like that win. Even if Rob Font wins, what does that do for him? It doesn't do a whole lot. At this point, you should do legend matchups for these guys, their spots in their career. But, you know, that's just me. I like these fights. Excited to see who Michael Chiesa gets. I hope they give him a big name. You know, hey man, he called for it. He's won 2 in a row. Maybe Michael Chiesa versus Colby Covington. I wouldn't hate it. You know, I'm just saying, you know. Weirder things have happened. 2 ranked guys at welterweight. Would love to see it.
By the way, I'm looking at it on this site. Did they even have Michael Chiesa in a matchup for this shit? Because I don't.
They don't. But Dana announced he announced these 2 fights, and then during that he also said that Chiesa is going to be on here against somebody.
Yeah, but I say they got 11 fights, and I was like, I'm sure they need to figure something out soon.
Mm-hmm. So we're still waiting to see. It's
a stacked little card, man. Seattle got blessed.
Yeah, they really did. Why didn't they have Uriah Faber against Dom Cruz, the 4th fight, or Uriah Faber against Cejudo, man? Uriah Faber got released early this week, ending, you know, his run with the company. So
you're not wrong. That's certainly a route they could have gone.
Well, I remember Uriah, he said that he came back, he ended his retirement, and then he knocked out Ricky Simone, and he fought Peter Yan, and they lost. He's like, well, I'm not retired, but I'm going to leave myself open to whatever happens, and then he just never fought again. So kind of a disappointing end, but hey, what are you going to do? He had the perfect retirement, too. Beat the shit.
Wait, he was supposed to fight in his league. Did he actually do that?
He did not. It ended up being a grappling match against somebody. I can't remember who.
I wonder if it's because of this, you know what I mean? Because he hadn't been released yet. He's like, oh, you want to fight in your league?
That's my guess. That's the only thing that makes sense. But regardless, Uriah Faber now a free agent. We'll see what he does. Maybe he's signing up for the GFL probably.
I said the same shit, man.
Yeah. We'll move on. If you guys saw my video earlier this week where I basically tore into the PFL Man, if only this news would have came out today, or that day that I filmed, because the PFL, Angel, I'm not even sure if you saw this one. The PFL for the last few years, ever since they got bought and changed the the World Series of Fight League, right? World Series of Fighting, they changed it to the PFL back in, I think, 2018. The whole thing is $1 million tournaments. A lot of guys have been made through that. A lot of guys getting paid. Angel, the $1 million tournaments are gone. They are no more. The PFL announced that they're bringing in elbows this week. Another small change to the format, which they did not announce, but through my buddy Al Zuino on Twitter doing some great reporting, the PFL $1 million tournaments are now gone. $500,000 in its place instead. They have been halved. The fighter contract's not changing. They're still going to be getting 20 and 20. Apparently, that's the standard PFL contract. But instead of $1 million at the end of the season, it's going to be $500,000. Angel, give me your thoughts.
Dude, I know some fighters are fucking pissed.
As they should be.
I mean, gotta say it. L move by the PFL, man.
Yeah.
And you can't spell PFL without L, man. And they keep fucking taking them. I mean, this is fucking tragic. We talked about how hopefully this year they would just get rid of the tournament as a whole. The fact that they didn't even get rid of it and just cut it in half makes them look a million times worse.
I fully agree. They should have just ended this fucking thing. They should have just ended the absolute season. At this point, stop doing the tournaments because you can't. If you give somebody something, you can't take it away. There's a general rule for people. Like, I saw, this is a total different thing, but I saw a lot of companies are ending work from home. They got brought into COVID, and now they're like, yeah, get that shit back. You guys can't have fun. You can't work from home. What the fuck? Are you crazy? People are pissed about that. It's like, yeah, dude, you gave people something to make their lives materially better, and now you're taking it away. The PFL, they were running those $1 million tournaments, and they yanked it away. So, I don't know what to really say about it. It sucks. Another big L move from the PFL. They've done nothing but L moves lately, and Don Davis remains to be the worst promoter in MMA. Although, I don't know, I mean, maybe just hasn't seen his own shows. He doesn't watch MMA, so maybe that's part of the problem.
You should do a video on every promotions guy, maybe you could do
Chatri Sitchatong?
Chatri Sitchatong next.
No, he'll sue me. I'm not gonna touch that one.
I mean, Dana might do the same thing, actually.
Yeah. He might. But Dana got a new job, man. He's working for Meta as their board of directors. So, he won't even see it. He's just going to be so busy because God knows. I mean, he's totally a real job, right? It's not just a way for him to make money. But anyways, last subject of the day. Angel, we're still talking about this shit. We're still talking about it. Logan Paul versus Conor McGregor. Except Angel, it's no longer Logan Paul. I'm not sure if you saw this. This came out this morning. Flew under the radar. Logan Paul said earlier this week that he's not interested. He said he's full-time in the WWE. So maybe they won't even allow him to do it. I don't know. I don't really give a shit about this fight. I just feel like we have to throw it in there because it is news. Apparently, KSI now willing to step up and face Conor. Judging by the look on your face, I'm taking that you have no interest in a potential Conor McGregor versus KSI fight. Same as Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm gonna check it out. I mean, it'll be a big event because of the names involved. But no, brother. No, I was listening. I was locked in to get because I was like, okay, I've heard of this, but wait, what? Okay. That was kind of my whole the way I looked. Excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thoughts, dude. I don't really think that. I don't think any of this shit will actually end up happening. I think money to do a boxing match that nobody wants to see. I think the Pauls is obviously his first choice, but Jake said he won't fight him if it's not a professional fight, and Logan might genuinely not be allowed by the WWE. So at that point, you're going third in the line, dude. Who's the next biggest influencer guy? It's KSI. So. Where's Greg Paul at? You know what I'm saying? Why can't get the third Paul in there, my boy? Oh man.
Holy fuck, that's a name I haven't heard in forever. Greg Paul.
Where's Greg at, man? Where's Greg? Oh,
where's
man.
Jimmy Smith in all of this, man?
Oh man. oh god, Dennis Siva's available. You know, fucking yeah. We'll see.
By the way, where is Jimmy Smith these days? What happened? He kind of just disappeared from Bellator.
He returned to Bellator for their deal with HBO Max, and they're no longer with HBO. And I think Bellator is dead now. I think Bellator is officially dead. PFL show, they're promoting it. Here's the funniest shit, dude. I hate to bring it back to the PFL. I really do. But the PFL, they're promoting that Bellator Road to Dublin show as Bellator Road to Dublin, and then the year switched over, and they're calling it PFL Road to Dublin. Not Road to Dublin, Road to Dubai or whatever. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, oh my god.
I hope that Jimmy Smith gets like the big call up at some point.
I hope so. I hope he actually works that show. Well, speaking of one last thing for the PFL, they announced that Vadim Nemkov versus Corey Anderson 3 was going to happen in that co-main event. Did you see this?
No.
So here's what happened. It was going to be Ante Delija versus Vadim Nemkov. Ante Delija pulled out. So then they signed Corey Anderson versus Vadim Nemkov. And then I don't know what happened, but Vadim Nemkov allegedly said he wouldn't fight Corey Anderson. So then they put in Tim Johnson instead. So now that's where we're at.
You know something? I did fucking see this. I can't believe that they gave that fight to Tim Johnson.
I couldn't believe that shit either.
That's some pride shit, dude. It doesn't even make sense, right?
No. Do you think this is going to lead to Nemkov versus Ngannou? That's my guess. It seems like they want to give him a layup, a tune-up, because it's like, think about it. Who else could they reasonably fight that's like a heavyweight that's a decently known name? Nemkov's not even a big name, but like he's kind of known.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's always been a possibility, right, since the moment these promotions merge.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy? If this would have been like a few years back, dude, we could have had Fate over versus Ngannou.
I know. Thank God we didn't. Thank God we didn't, dude. Oh my god.
Could you imagine if Fedor's last fight in the Red Square was fucking Ngannou and not was it Ryan Bader?
It was Ryan Bader. The easiest fight in the division, Ryan Bader.
Dude.
Beat him. Dude, I remember, dude.
Could you fucking imagine, dude? It's the Red Square, right?
Yeah, the Red Square in Moscow.
It could have the Red Square with fucking Francis, dude. The fucking thought. All I'm saying is they should have brought out Bigfoot in retirement, dude, and gave him that one. But I guess he wasn't ever retired, really, but Bigfoot versus...
Yeah, well, actually, he retired, and then he unretired the next week, and then he retired again a month later, and then he came back out, and then he fought BKC.
No, dude. Bigfoot versus Fedor could have actually been a half-decent fight. I'll argue that to the end of time. I
would have much rather seen Fedor fight fucking anybody than Ryan Bader, not gonna lie. In hindsight, right? Like, at the time I was into it, and then like he got
I had hope, dude. I had tried to give myself some hope too. Hey man, but you saw that shit he did to Tim Johnson though. Called that shit.
Hey dude, that was the coolest knockout of all time. I still love that. I'm gonna rewatch it as soon as we get off the call, man. That's how good that shit was. But
dude, it looked like prime Fedor.
Yeah. He returned for one night, right? Yeah, it's my goat right there. Anyways, anything else we'll talk about before we go and close out of here, man?
No, man, I had so much fun this week talking to you. I'm really excited to come back next week, be in person, hopefully the weather allows it. The elements have not been in our favor out here in the Midwest, as you guys have heard.
Exactly.
Kind of unfortunate we did the 300 episode online. Yeah, sorry guys, this is the 300 episode. Happy birthday.
I know. Next week I'm gonna put out the call for some fan questions, and we're gonna treat it essentially like 300 part 2. That's my plan. Because this week it was just unfortunate. It fell in a week where the blizzard, and then it's a car that honestly nobody cares about, but nobody really cares about, you know, and just not a lot's really happened. So it's unfortunate that I'll put the call out for some fan questions, and we'll have a pay-per-view, so that'll be a lot more fun. So maybe even do that GFL draft next week, because it would give. But we got to wait for them to release their whole roster too. So
yeah, exactly. And we have to see who they draft, because we can't draft without having the guys actually fighting. So that way, by the end of the GFL season or whatever the fuck it's called, tournament, we can add up our own scores and see if our own teams would have won too.
Exactly. So we got to wait and see how the format goes. But look, man, had fun doing the pod this week. First time doing it over Skype with some video. Hope you guys, hopefully the video quality isn't that bad. I'll see you in editing and post, but all that, you know.
It's probably gonna be rough. Let's be honest. It's gonna be rough.
I'll throw some shit in it. It'll look good. Anyways, I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. My friend at Angel Ortega _01. At Courtside Sound for all things related to the show. I'm thinking, of doing like last year I did in like mid-January, I did a 2023 recap. or like plans for 2024, I think I'm gonna do that again this next week.
By the way, I love that video. Just so you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna run through it all. I'm gonna run through all the stats, and this is just kind of my way to close out and say thank you guys for 2024. It's our first episode of 2025. Thank you so much for sticking along for the ride. Huge year, biggest year of the pod last year. This is gonna be the first full year this year of doing the show, filming it all, being in person, so on and so forth. So thank you for sticking along for the journey, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Follow our sponsors down below, BetMGM, link down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's all for me. Peace.